Okay, so nobody's getting the truth from the mainstream media, folks. It's well past time to open your eyes, your ears, and your mind. Do your own research because something isn't right here. And if you can't see that, you are not paying attention, folks.
It's the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order. A world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations.
So let's look at each one of these and see how we can get this down to zero. Probably one of these numbers is going to have to get pretty near to zero. Now that's back from high school algebra, but let's take a look. First, we've got population. The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The important message that we need Australians to get vaccinated as quickly as possible. In line with that, I do encourage all Australians to please go and book your vaccinations as soon as you can if you haven't already done so.
Emma, get away!
When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
Okay, we need to stand up against this tyranny, folks. Stop giving away your freedoms and liberties, because the more you give up, the more these people will take until you have absolutely nothing left. That's their agenda. Good evening, you bunch of legends. How are you? Okay, let's start the show with this, guys. We come in with another event number from Victoria. Let's just say that we got swabbed after the race. Okay, and that event number's got cancelled. We won't say much more than that, guys, all right? But this is what we're up against, people, okay? And we're not going to give them any, no time, no nothing. But it's just like Billboard Chris, all right? He's had a thing from Brisbane Mall there, guys. We all know what happened with Billboard Chris, okay? So this lady just sent this to Chris. Maybe some of you have seen it, but some of you won't if you're not on Twitter and that. Hello, I just want to thank you for your work spreading information about the harm of gender-affirming care. I live in Brisbane, Australia, and have a friend who works for the council who shared that there are many people calling up to complain about the Brisbane City Council's unlawful treatment of you and their misuse of power. My friend told me that instead of cataloguing these complaints, the call centre representatives have been instructed to mark each of the callers as abusive. All right. I wish I could share this information publicly. However, I work in education and would sadly maybe lose my job. But anyway, she just thought that we ought to know, guys. So this is what they're going to do. This is what they're going to get up to. And this is why we need to be backing everyone up. Okay. When people have got stuff on, right, and things are happening at the courts and that, guys, we just got to push. All right. We got to get through and we got to get there and back people up. So let's start the show. We've got Derek, Eric, and Serena in. There's another court next week. So let's bring them in, have a chat to them, and then we'll move on with the show, guys. And then we got a few big shows coming up next week. Actually, next week, I'm going to try and get Cqz in on this. But, Lee Harvey Oswald's girlfriend, Lee and Me, the book. Actually, we're going to interview her, guys. So that would be very, very interesting to get on the inside of Lee Harvey Oswald. Anyway, guys, how are you? You guys are taking it on. There it is, me and Lee. So, yeah, how I jagged that one, guys. God's good. Anyway, Derek, come on in, mate. Eric or Serena, come on in. Tell us what is happening.
You'll go, Derek. Thanks for having us back, Kaz and Guru. We were in court last Monday. We had 120 people that came by bus from Brisbane. We had a bus from Melbourne. Couldn't quite get a bus from Sydney. Couldn't quite get the Sydney people to jump on a bus, but we had a few people drive the distance. 120 people who drove long distances to back Eric and Serena. And the morning started with Eric tearing down the constable who broke the law and lied in the courtroom. He didn't know his left from his right. And they all watched the video, which has now been put on Channel 7. And they've chopped it at the beginning and the end. So we're grateful you're giving us the chance to give you a summary tonight to just give people a background what happened. Eric and Serena did an extraordinary job with a magistrate who is protecting the police force in Victoria. I shouldn't call them the police force. They're the Victoria Police Corporation under BlackRock. And I say that every day. And when Australians wake up, then we can start to make a change. And then we went through sergeant after sergeant after sergeant, and they all lied on the stand. Yep. That's why we need to galvanize and come together like now, because they're going to lie on the stand and change their testimony in front of a magistrate in court. That's what happened.
So how do we stop them doing that, Derek? Or how do we, what's the offensive here, mate? What do we do here to go on the,
Well, first of all, we got to the end of the 5th day, and because they fabricated a tax invoice, an infringement notice, the magistrate got the message that Eric was banging on about this all week. He backdated an infringement notice 2 minutes before he drove on the property and drove over Serena's body. And they now realise this is involving New South Wales Police for destruction of evidence. It's involving 20-plus police officers in Victoria. And we're going back to court on Monday morning to interview and to cross-examine the detective who took the case against Eric. Have you got your full clip in there? Will they accept your full video clip? Because they've cut their clip. We know that. We're going to give you the full clip, and we're going to show you what they actually allowed Channel 7 to play on Tuesday night. Okay, cool. And so they manipulated the evidence. Okay, we'll look at that next week, Derek. We'll get you back on after Monday or whenever suits you guys. Let us know. Get that clip over to us, and we'll put that on. So what can we do for you for Monday, Derek? I'm going to pass it over to Eric to do that. Okay.
Good on you.
Eric, come on down.
Yeah. All I can say is I can't thank people enough for what they've done coming down. It's absolutely awesome. Unless you've been there, you don't realise the empowerment that you get when there's a lot of people there, and it has an impact on the court itself. The magistrate restricted 5 people only in the court because she knew how many people were outside. She just said, nah. She said, I'm not having a circus. That's one thing. How can we help? Just try and keep the pressure on these pricks. That's basically it.
No, we're doing that from a few different avenues, actually, Eric. It's good, mate. There's a lot of people out there taking these guys on.
Look, the thing is, what got me, I couldn't believe this. The statements that the police officers write, that they write a statement of what happened on the day. I cannot believe this. And I get given that statement in the brief of evidence. The magistrate doesn't get the statements. And what ended up happening was I've got to challenge the police officer on his statement. And time after time, if there was a place in his statement where I know he lied, it's my responsibility to bring that out in the court in the cross-examination. And I mean, every time I brought something up where I knew they'd lied, they changed what they'd written in my statement. They just said, no, I didn't mean that. I meant something else. Or, no, that vehicle, when I said it turned right, no, sorry, it turned left. I mean, that's bullshit, because at the bottom of it's got this statement is made, is liable for perjury if it's a false statement. Yep. You get into the courtroom, all that goes out the window. it absolutely gets thrown out the window. And that's they're being allowed to lie in court. And when they get caught lying in the courtroom, they just say, oh, no, sorry, that's not what I said, or that's not what I meant, or, oh, no, I can't remember. And then you go, well, you did make that phone call. I mean, I could just go on and on and on. I had 5 days of it.
Yeah.
And
But
I've got to say this, the prosecutor strutted into the court Monday morning like a peacock, right? You know, chest out, head up. When he left on Friday, his shoulders were dropped. He was dropped, and I said, "Oh, I got to put in for some put in for some witnesses for next week to come onto the court." And he goes, "Oh no, I'll be busy." He said, "Yeah, whatever you want to do, mate." He didn't care. So, but
all
but
right.
that's the thing. Yeah.
If I can jump in.
Yeah, you also. Yeah, and I'll get Serena in a minute. Yeah, go on.
Dave, we're going to get you a link. You can join us on your PC at home, and all the members in your circle and people watching you. I'm going to get it to you to share with them as soon as we get this on Monday morning, so you can keep an eye on them and you can see it. And we want people to be on the screen. Yeah, we have 100 people in the live stream watching, mate. Yeah, that'd be brilliant. Okay, Serena, what's your take on Monday? Let's just get you involved, darling. You're always sitting up the back there. So your take for Monday, Serena, what do you well, maybe not expect, what would you like to see?
A lot more people again supporting, because that's what helps us. It's helped us all the way through, just to have support from good people. And not last Monday, the Monday before, it was absolutely incredible with all the people, like from Brisbane, Melbourne, Phillip Island, Lake Bolac, Newcastle, everywhere. It was unbelievable, and all beautiful people. So the main thing I would like to see, well, I know Eric's going to maybe enjoy himself for the first time because he gets to take on the informant, and there's going to be a lot happening there. But the other thing, just more people, lots of people, because that really, you know, Chick Fenton, she's been fantastic.
Yeah, she's been keeping us updated on everything.
Yeah, just her and her friends, they put together all these big posters, and they sat out in front of the court building with those posters every day. Just with police accountability, pictures of my injuries. They got kicked off the council land, so they went to the footpath, you know, onto the nature strip, and then they got kicked off there, so back they went, and they just stood their ground and hung in there. And another lady stayed with me in the courtroom, doing the tea rounds for me whenever I needed, because I was to be a witness, but I had to hang around and wait until I got called up. I was looked after really well. But the main thing, the supporters, makes a hell of a difference.
Well, let's see what we can do, guys. Thank you very much to everyone that participated. Headed 120 people. That's unbelievable, guys. That's unreal, man. A bus from, man. All right, Monday morning. I don't know what we can do, guys, but obviously there's a few going. They're saying in the comments. So let's go and back them up. The only way we win, guys, is by putting these people on notice, right? And 2 and 3 people in a courtroom are not going to put them on notice. 120 people or 100 people outside the court, that puts them on notice.
Yeah, it does.
Chick has just made a mention, Cqz and Guru, that every day is a new link. So we're going to get you that link, and we're going to organise this to get that to you. And
I'll get it out on my Facebook pages.
Great. One thing very quickly. Because of people like Chick and her friends that had the photos, we actually got a police sergeant to say, you're standing on private land, get off. The outside of the courtroom, the building, is privately owned land. It's not owned by the people of Australia anymore.
No.
So we'll keep you informed after we get through Monday's session.
No, good on you, mate.
Actually, that's interesting because, hang on a minute, while you're here, I'll just bring Darren Bergworth has brought up something that I did not know, and he says, how many people are aware that the United Nations are the bankruptcy trustee for Australia? And he said, councils are hiding behind a private members association protected by international law. They are flying flags as a city-state, which is an international crime, as under international law, you can't have a state within a state. Ask council for a copy of their social compact agreement. So this is very fascinating. I don't have time to follow this up, guys, but if anyone has got the time to actually look into this, please do so and get back to us.
Can I give you Darren Bergworth's affidavit that actually established that a couple of years ago?
Yeah, do.
Yeah, you can, mate,
Send it through. Yeah, no, send
Darren's
it through.
fine, mate. Yeah.
I wrote that document for him, and he hasn't published it, but I'll give it to you because we've used that in cases that there's all their corporations have to be exposed, that they stand under ICLA in Germany. That's where they're getting their climate change policies through. And it was in Sydney that they had an ICLA climate change meeting on the 13th of March. I'll get that to you when we get home.
Thank you.
Yeah, do that.
All right, guys. Well, look, have a great weekend. All right, enjoy yourself, relax, pray. All right, and and walk into that court, heads held high, guys, and go and do your stuff. We're very proud of you. Very, very proud of the 120 people that went down last week. That's incredible, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yep. Good night.
Okay, good night, guys.
All right. So we've got a situation here because
Can I go first?
Yes.
Can I go first? Right, guys, we did I'd like to just say one of my mates, there was a funeral on today, actually, Darren Mortimer, so I'd like to put a call Mortimer family, very well-known man in Wollongong, and a very sad story, guys, we found out. And the other thing is Mike Schultz from the Royal Registry, he's from Wollongong also, and guys, his wife died suddenly on Monday. So I've been asked to just put that out there, so our condolences go to, Mike Schultz. And, we don't know too much about what went on, but, it was just got told that, she died suddenly, so... But anyway, we pray for it. Thanks, Cuz. Keep going, Dol.
That's all right. Now, look, we've got people fighting everywhere. Guys, if anyone knows this guy, ask him to come on the show.
For the rights of homeowners.
I will visit every town in Queensland. I believe the Queensland government does not have the power to do what they have done.
He's referring to a 2019 bill which he claimed stripped Queenslanders of proof of home ownership because paper title deeds no longer exist.
The Queensland government is just bloody-minded and making changes without consulting the Queensland people. People who have paid their mortgage fully, and the banks are actually refusing to take their names off the title deed.
He says the government has moved the titles register online and into private hands, making it difficult for homeowners to apply for loans. Crown Barrister Felicity Nagorka told the court the state wants the matter heard as soon as possible, as there is some anxiety in the community caused by Mr Harris's position.
Yes, there is anxiety because they've digitised all of the land, all of the titles. His name's Len Harris, guys, so get him on if you know him.
Yeah, and that was, I can get to him, I think. That was back in 2019, guys. All right.
No, that's since it's still going on now, but that's when it happened. It happened into 2019. So yeah. But anyway, look, we're getting some help with all of the stuff that we've got going on around the place, and one of them is Lady Liberty and her fight against the Western Australian government with regards to seizing their guns. Okay, and it's coming from the United States.
People from the United States of America donate to this fight. They are watching. They are very interested in what's happening here in WA, and to have donations come in from the USA who have strong beliefs about the people and their ability to own and keep firearms. If it gives you any comfort, please know that our cousins in the USA are helping this fight. They've donated. This does not affect them at all. They have their own battles going on with defending.
So that's really awesome. She's basically looking at going to court, taking the government to court, and which we know is an expensive thing. So anyway.
Yeah, we should have our guns back.
I think we should too. Yeah. And like the thing is, you got to look at what's going on, especially like look at this. Like they're saying they're all not going to vote Labor anymore. Okay, this is a keep the sheep lot. Okay.
Voter all my life.
But I can't support Albanese or Labor at this election.
Under Albanese, Labor has changed.
They're no longer the party of sherries and workers like me.
They now stand for East Coast activists and job losses in WA.
Albanese's ban on sheep exports will shut down 3,000 jobs in our rural communities.
Whole towns will disappear, and for what?
So other countries with worse standards can start up and fill the demand.
I'm calling on you to send Anthony Albanese this message.
It's time for Labor to stand for working people again.
People like you and me.
At this election, stand with us and put Labor last.
Now, Labor, Liberal last, Kaz, we got the MSM already. I'm over it already, man, because I do watch a little bit of it early in the morning at 5:30 and find out what is going on. But these guys have all they're doing is saying that there's two parties. That's it. No one else is in the race, mate. It's just all over the mainstream. It's Dutton versus Albo. Which one are you going to get? Well, we're not getting fucking none of them because we don't want them.
We don't want any of it. Yeah, no, there's only one person, I think, and that's basically, look, the only person I like at the moment is, I like Antic a bit, and I like Rennick a lot, and, well, actually Babbitt and, a few others, but that's it. Like, I mean, and even, we just need to clean them out and basically get Australia back on track under law. Now, one of the things that we've got going on is a massive Indian immigration into this country. Stephen Chovera has weighed in on this.
Hey everyone, this was drawn to my attention yesterday. So the man you can see there, Giridharan Sivaraman, is Australia's Race Discrimination Commissioner. He is on nearly $400,000 a year, paid for by us, the taxpayer. And his basic message to Australians is that we are a racist country, and even that, in his opinion, there are too many white people with positions of power in Australia. Now, this fellow has come from India. He's an immigrant from India. India is a very poor country. It's also actually one of the most racist countries in the world. There are surveys about world racism, and India is almost at the top, or maybe even at the top. It's also a country that's incredibly corrupt. So Australia was good enough to let him and his family come here. And not only that, to actually wind up climbing the ladder of the public service. Just a second, someone's saying hello. Climb the ladder of the public service to a $400,000 a year job, only to tell us that we are a racist country and there are too many white people in positions of power. Australia, a historically white nation, has too many white people in power for Giridharan Sivaraman, our Race Discrimination Commissioner. Peter Dutton, when is this country going to stop paying people top dollar to bag us out? People who, instead of showing gratitude for being allowed to live in one of the best countries in the world, just insult us and then get paid top dollar to do it. Peter.
Okay. So, yeah, he didn't climb up the ladder, guys, all by design. He was put there for a reason. These guys don't climb ladders. They get help fucking up the rung. All right, it's not about climbing. You're getting carried up there. Oh, why? Because you're an evil bastard. And we're working that out pretty good. And, all right, go, Cuz, sorry.
No, well, the thing is that India does... India does have a caste system, and that makes them automatically racist because they you got to work up to the next level.
Yep.
So, but like, here's the thing is that, like, it's all very well for him to come here. What's he doing with, why is he here if he feels that way? His country of origin has enough problems. Now, I have put in my time going and feeding the hungry and clothing the poor and educating them, okay, because I want to improve the living standards of third world nations. But to come here and basically bag us, like, who do these people think they are? Like, seriously. Like, as if I would go to another country, even though I've seen a lot of corruption in third world countries, okay, you don't go there and you don't bag their country. You go there and try and make a difference.
Well, you think you got a few of them in now, guys, all right? I'm telling you, if Dutton if they steal this, which they will, and whack Dutton in for argument's sake, okay, and I'm telling you,
No,
this
it's not
guy,
going to be Dutton.
yeah, but this
No,
guy,
I don't
no, I
agree.
think it is. Actually, I think it is. Well, it's, look, it's going to be one of the two big ones. They're telling us that. Now, can Clive get in the back door and do something about it? Can Renington that offset it, with what they're doing? Who knows? But we need to do what we can do, guys, which is get the witness statement out to as many people in Australia as you can, all right, and get them educated. That's what we need to do, because I'm telling you, Dutton's an ex-cop and he's not stupid. I've told you before, Albo's a fuck knuckle, all right? He's a dead set knob, all right? Dutton ain't, guys. Dutton will come in that hard, you will not even see what's coming, man. It'll just bang you. That's the type of prick he is. Excuse me, but yeah, I'm over this election. It's only been called one day, and I'm over it.
Yeah, that's it. Look there. Sassoon, the pharmacist or the doctor, he's had this to say, and I think it's really important that we keep the whole stuff about the vaccines in the news.
Idea of the effectiveness and safety of the vaccines is real science. We need to talk about it. And guess what? Not only are we going to have two big crises about the recovery of California over the next decade, but we're going to have to address the rising incidence of cancer. For the first time in my career, I've seen an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old with colon cancer. The first time in my career, I've had a 13-year-old child in our clinic die of metastatic pancreatic cancer. We have to face this effectiveness and face reality. The good news is that we can do something about it. The good news now, there are effective therapies because we understand the science in such an immense way.
Well, we do. We understand the real science, not the science they tried to sell. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. 5 fucking years later. Hello? Hello? Bird flu's here. Look out.
All right, we've got this one as well. Now, I'm going to put this into the chat. This is from Billboard Chris, and it's basically a petition to halt the gender-affirming practices.
Yeah, good on you.
So, guys, if you would like to sign that, that would be really good. And it will actually help him out, because I'm sure that his legal counsel is arguing, look, it's the majority of people don't want this. Oh, I can't
want
get it out.
Yeah, the only ones that
isn't
want
it
it,
interesting?
yeah, is the sicko wiped out, trannies that have already been turned over and whatever. Anyway, I just want to get back to God. I want to get back to 2 genders, and I want to get back to living my fucking life, man. That's what I want to do, but I think we got a bit of a battle to get there, guys, but that's cool. We're in there, all right? We're going really well, and we're winning the exposure game. So, yes, guys?
Well, no, that's interesting that you should say that, because, again, synchronicity has happened, and I thought I'd include some of these in tonight's. And this is a gay man and a transitioning woman, that got married, but wait for what happened.
That my husband and I said I do as a gay trans couple. I never imagined our life would become what it is now. I never imagined ever identifying as a woman. In fact, I remember even telling the lady marrying us to make sure you say Mr. and Mr. And to see what God has done now when we radically laid everything at the feet of Jesus and chose to fully surrender it all to the Lord. To see my husband, who he is now, to see how God has transformed our marriage, to see the way that he loves me and our babies, to see how our marriage has transformed, to see that when you actually lay it all at the feet of Jesus, God doesn't take anything away from you. He exchanges it for something so much sweeter, something so much better that bears much fruit, friends, that bears much joy. So this world would tell you that God is taking things away, but let me tell you, God is replenishing. God is restoring, God is renewing and giving you something so much sweeter than this world could.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that God got him out of it if that's what happened. But yeah, it's a slippery slope, isn't it? And you got to feel sorry for people, because they're just being coerced, and you know what I mean? Like everyone, we got to go into it one night about what they have actually. Although you guys are educated enough, I mean, insane what they've done to us.
It is. Well, it's I still believe a lot of it's the hormones in the food and the alterations that they're doing, in the atmosphere and stuff like that. All right, let's have a look at we haven't played our flyers for a couple of days, so we need to get them on.
And the Mondays at Maggie's crew is calling for tools down. It's time to stand together. A corrupt and tyrannical government is crushing industries, stripping freedoms and silencing voices. This affects every worker and every business. New South Wales under a corrupt government. Enough is enough. We won't stay silent and we demand action. So join us every Monday at the Governor's House in Sydney at 11 a.m. The 832 muster will be at Deniliquin, New South Wales, 28th to the 31st of March. And a reminder to contact the officers of Chris Minns, Ryan Park and Paul Scully. They are invited to come on the show Stop the Rot, Sack the Lot and have a debate with Dave. And Protect Our Australian Heritage are having a Captain Cook statue, Hyde Park, Sydney meetup on Saturday the 22nd of March at 3:30 p.m. And My Place Wollongong invites you to a community meeting Saturday the 29th of March, 12 p.m, Brighton Beach, North Wollongong Harbour. Come along and meet Robin and Guru. And there is a quick call out. Australians, we need to gather in the thousands. Wednesday the 9th of April, High Court, Canberra, Rod Cullerton's S92. Can they close our borders? No. And Dr. Beverly Pierce, S109. Can the states put conditions in the workplace such as mandating vaccination? No. All these matters affect Australians and are of great interest to the general public. And there is a court call out for Serena and Eric at Wodonga Courthouse on Monday the 31st of March at 9:30 a.m. And in Victoria, we have the following events. In Melbourne, gather at the Governor's every Saturday to end the tyranny. 10 a.m. every Saturday at the Governor Gates. And join the Justice of the People in Melbourne every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. for a remembrance at the Shrine of Remembrance, lest we forget. In Canberra, every day for over 1,000 days, the freedom fighters have been protesting at the Governor-General's. To join in, meet at the National Rock Garden at 10 a.m. to expose the 28, or tune in on YouTube at #ExposeThe28. Dan Tilda's Designs has a special of $10 each for his t-shirts. Postage is 2 for $15 and 3 for $18. And check out Dan Tilda's new t-shirt designs featuring the QR code, the event number of the witness statement documentary. And RDA Warwick are having a meet-up on Sunday the 30th of March 2025, 2:30 p.m. start. The guest speakers will be Yanis Pascanti and Robin J.S. at Topolina's Restaurant, corner of Beach Road and Dorchester Avenue, Warwick. And backed by popular demand, there will be a second screening of Witness Statement on Saturday, the 12th of April at 2025 at Nanango Cultural Centre on the corner of Drayton Streets and George Streets, Nanango, Queensland. Arrive at 11:30am for a 12pm lunchtime film start. The People's Health Alliance are hosting a practitioner presentation on the 30th of March 2025 at Milligan's House, 35 Milligan Street, Carey Park. 12pm start to 3:30pm. The talk topic is an ex-midwife gives a presentation on sovereign birth and sovereign birth keeping. If you would like to attend this, please RSVP Nikki to 0403 952 972 by Friday the 28th of March. A daily prayer space is held on X at 3 p.m. So whatever you're facing, come along and we can lift you up in prayer. Every day, 3 p.m. on X. Melissa 14623
Okay, first cab off the rank. We got some crazy weather down here, guys. Supposedly coming in again tomorrow. So we've put our little meeting off till Sunday. Now, if we get really bad weather on the Sunday, I'll talk to Robin, but maybe I can just set up a StreamYard. There's probably about 10 or 15 of us. We can get in there and have a chat. So whatever the weather does, it's not going to stop us doing what we want to do, okay? And we'll be able to get together, guys, whether that's on a screen or in person. We're in person on a screen. We can talk and get the ball rolling. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to go in. I'm going to help out Darren and Penny, and I'm going to go to my place at Wollongong. I'm going to have a bit of a chat and introduce Robin and be there to help her, guys. But listen, Wollongong, please come and get involved. All right, we can make a real difference here, guys. We got a bunch of yobbos. You got idiots like Ryan Park, Alison Burns-Scully, Paul Scully. You know, these guys, man, I grew up with these people. These people are smart. All right, they've been in the Labor Party since they were friggin' knee-high to a grasshopper. This is how it all works, guys. And they never leave. Right? It's just indoctrination. All right, so we got a weak link here in Wollongong, and we need to pressure them. All right, and that other Lord Mayor that's just come in, the Labor thing, what's her name?
Tanya.
Tanya, whoever you are, Brown or whatever. Yeah, Brown knows for the bloody New World Order. That's all you are. All right, but yeah, you know, we got weak points here, guys, and you've probably got weak points in your council. But I'm telling you, I know these people. I grew up with them, and we can rock their socks, guys, the right way, peacefully, lovingly, and get the pressure on them. So come on, wake up, Wollongong. Let's go. Thank you.
That's it. All right. So we've got a lot of conversation about God being had. There's certainly Jean Ho has been interviewing Pastor Bob, but there's other things that are going on which are absolutely phenomenal. And that is this is the Shroud of Turin.
Of the body within the cloth. She discovered one of those mysterious properties that cannot be, yet somehow is. An interface that divides the image transport into two hermetically separate yet simultaneous actions and forces, causing the shroud to be taut and parallel on both sides, creating a true event horizon.
In general relativity, we have found that there are certain things called black holes. Now, the surface of a black hole is called an event horizon. And it's called that because right at that surface, the laws of physics seem to change character drastically.
When you look at the image of the shroud, the two bodies next to each other, you feel that it's a flat image. But if you create, for instance, a three-dimensional object, as I did, the real body, then you realize that there is a strange dividing element, an interface, from which the image is projected up and the image is projected down. The muscles of the body are absolutely not crushed against the stone of the tomb. They are perfect. It means that the body is hovering between the two sides of the shroud.
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah. Yeah, well.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that? And we've had a lot of insane news. Now, one of them is the CIA leaked documents about the Ark of the Covenant. And, you know, people have been speculating about this one at Mar-a-Lago, you know, whether it's real or whether it's a fake. It doesn't, I think it's probably a fake, actually, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I know. I've got a fair idea where the real one is. Yes, I've spoken to a few people about that, but anyway.
Well, here's the interesting thing. So why would Trump have that there? Would it be that because he's in a battle, and every time the general or whoever was in charge, the king, had that in leading them into battle, they never lost a battle?
Exactly right.
That's what I think.
Oh, that's great. Look, they're doing some great things over there, Trump and that. They really are, man. I'm blown out, you know what I mean? I still got me doubts, guys, about what's going down here because I'm a big believer in the Lord. And I've been told bullshit in the Bible or a narrative that's probably not true because we know who happened to put that Bible together. And then we get that latest, what's that other Bible that come out, Kaz? The latest thing that everyone went with. Anyway. Guys, there's a lot of working out to do. Look what we just found under the pyramids, guys. Have you seen what we've just found under the pyramids with this guy with his
We'll go into that. I think it's an energy. I've always, because I saw something on it years ago, and there's actually water that runs under there. I believe it's an energy thing. But when there's a bit more information out about it, we'll do a bit on it.
It's that energy. We know it, guys. We know the ether contains the energy. They're building a 5G grid, a synthetic grid to cover up the ether. This is what they're doing to you. This is why people are getting sick. This is why we're under the pump, guys. And we've got to ground out. We've got to look after each other. We've got to stop eating their fucking poison. All right? Because you got no idea. All right? Every time you put your clothes on, every time you pick up another fucking Wheat Bix, every time you have a spoonful of Cocoa Pops, your kids. And I'll tell you the worst one right now, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a drug, guys. That's why you get addicted to it. All right? It is insane. That shit will kill you. And now it's got the nanobots. We know that Bill Gates done a 5-year contract with Coca-Cola and Pepsi, all right, who are owned by the same fucking company anyway, all right, to put the nanobots in there. And people, I walk around here and I see people drinking this shit, and then I see awake people drinking it. I go, what? You know, guys, we've got to help ourselves, okay? Stop drinking the pop, any soda pop, but especially that Coca-Cola, man. It's a killer.
All right, and then the last thing I want to show people was this: the China. We've done a little bit on this before, but there's a whole book on it that I've got somewhere here, which is basically the history of Genesis in the Chinese language, and this one is really interesting as well.
To give us righteousness.
他来是要赐公义给我们。
And righteousness is this word, lamb over me.
而义这个字就是羊在我之上。
Lamb
羊
over me.
在我之上。
So not this sacrifice always got to do with lamb.
注意到牺牲一直跟羊有关哎。
Now remember, many people say, and you heard it before. What about, you guys are Christians. You say God loves the world, but what about ancient China?
很多人在说，哎呀，你们第一天到晚说神爱中国，可是你看古代中国人怎么办
？What about all this ancient China?
那些古代的中国人呢
I'm so fed up of people talking to me like this.
每一次人家这样跟我讲，我都受不了了。
The next time somebody talk to you, especially during this Chinese New Year, you tell them this. What I'm going to tell you right now.
下次有人这样问你特别农历年的时候，你就把我现在要跟你讲的告诉他们啊。
This word, thousands of years old.
这个字已经几千年的历史了。
Longer before Jesus even came.
早在耶稣第一次降临之前就有了。
How do you write this word?
这个字怎么写的？
Originally, you take a lamb.
一开头你拿一只羊来。
And you use your hand, 手这边。
用你的手。
You take a spear and pierce it.
拿把刀戳进去。
A spear.
Wow.
把刀割戳进去。
All right, so that's the Chinese word is actually yi. So you basically it's made up of the picture language of a lamb over me, but that picture contains a spear.
Did you know about this, Kaz? You're pretty good on this history. Did you understand this was there?
I know some of it, but not that one. No, I didn't. But see, the word yi actually means single or one. But get this, it's often said with su yi, and then it means therefore or as a result. So as a result or therefore, there's a lamb. So it was prophesied in the Chinese language like thousands of years beforehand. Okay, so therefore there is a lamb that will be speared for over you, and if you've got a lamb over you and it's speared, okay, it'll bleed on you. It's incredible.
Blood of the lamb. Interesting.
Blood of the lamb.
Very interesting.
Very
interesting. These guys want your blood. They want your blood all over the streets, guys. That's what they want with civil unrest. That's where they're trying to take this country and every other Western country in the world that has been affected by Operation Gladio. Okay, and they've left their stay behind units in there, guys, and this has been going on since World War II. Don't think the war ever ended. And I think you people I'm preaching to the choir. All right, it didn't end. It's on, and it's worse than it's ever been.
Yep, that's it. All right, we're being taken out by In God We Trust. So I thought it was just appropriate. So I thought, we're in a spiritual battle, guys, but God's on our side.
Pepsi, come here. Peps, come here. Come here. Come here. Jump up. All right, I'm going to just close up. Come here, buddy. What's your two? Come here. Oh, sure. Look, he's having it. See this little guy here? All right. We love this guy. All right. He's part of our family. I know you guys have got him too. Okay. We got our issues. We got our issues. Well, that's cool. We love that, don't we, Pepsi? Right, guys. Now, I don't know how they work this out, and Mel doesn't know how they work this out, and they haven't talked to Cqz about it yet. But apparently the autism rate is up in your pets since the pet vaccinations have gone up. Now, again, what I want to say to you is you love these guys, all right? Don't vaccinate them. It's like your kids. All right? Don't vaccinate your kids. Don't take your dogs to a vet. Okay, well, I'm not going to say that. I can't tell you not to. Okay, be very, very careful about what you are doing, guys. It is the vets are the biggest rort that you have ever come across. All right, and Pepsi hadn't been there for 6 years until we had to take him there, and we were pretty, only that he got a tick and he wasn't real well. All right, I got the tick out, but he had some after effects. But that cost $900 or something by the time we walked out of there. $750. There you go. So everything's out to get you. Everything's out to rip you off. Anything that you own, they want to destroy. All right, and that's just the way it is, guys. All right. So have a think about it over the weekend. Let's just continue to do what we're doing, okay? And we just got to pump it. Now, let me just talk about Sue Ellen for 2 seconds. Sue Ellen done pretty good there last night, and I'm going to be talking more to him. But guys, she doesn't realise that you people are as educated as what you are. So therefore, she was giving you a hypothesis on things that have happened. I've spoke to her after the show. We don't want to know what happened. We know what happened. What we want to know is the policies that you've got to knock them on the head. Okay, so that's what we want to know. So we're going to get Sue Ellen back on when we can. Well, I'm going to talk to her beforehand, and I don't want to explain in history to her. You guys can explain history to her. She's calling us citizens, guys. God bless her. Okay, but that doesn't matter. Okay, we're all here to be educated. All right, but the more I saw her last night, and if I can get to talk to Clive, I got an email that I've been told to send off. The more we may have someone here who can help us, guys. I really don't know. Me and Cqz are looking into a few things about the election, and we think how we can sort of do it. But if we can find a candidate that we can get behind, all right, that's what we need to do. Now, I don't know. I really don't know. But as we get another interview and as we go further into this, I think you'll find out more and more. But we've got an issue that we have to get on the mainstream, because the only two people that are on there that the MSM is going to deal with is Labor and Liberal, guys. They're not even going to talk about the Greens or the Teals. It's a two-horse race as far as they're concerned. So if you want to stop this bullshit for another 3 years, I suggest you get out, do your thing, and we're going to be talking to you. We need everybody at the election, guys. You maybe need to do a postal vote or an early vote and then turn up, vote, and then get in there. And we need thousands of scrutineers. Thousands of them. One day.
It doesn't matter. If you don't vote, if you make the personal choice not to vote, we are vying for the 40%, okay, that are not like us, okay? The 40% in the middle. Go do handouts for somebody. Go scrutineer. Go volunteer. And we're going to document everything. It's one day. Don't tell me that you die for your country if you can't give up one day or one
day.
night.
We all come together,
watch
guys.
The votes.
Yep.
That's
all
it.
Right. Then we get all the videos in and we call them all out. Okay, guys. Have a great weekend, people. Love your work. You're brilliant. Okay, and remember, Victoria, we got swabbed in the stables, all right, and we weren't in the race, guys. Okay, so just let it be like that. I think you're smart enough to work it out. Good night, guys.
Those who spread and cheer, a chasm among their brethren dear. Can you not see the beam in thine own eye before casting judgment from on high? In God we trust, let this be our creed. To build bridges, not walls, to plant love seed. For in the embrace of unity, we find the strength to coexist, you see. Instead of seeking peace, you summon strife. You revel in chaos, you crave the fight. But there is but one race, the human race. And in unity's light lies our true might. In God we trust, let this be our tapestry of life, we are all but one. You serve the schemes of those who profit from discord, from turmoil, from endless pain. But united we stand, divided we fall. In unity we shatter the chain. In God we trust, let this be our creed. To build bridges, not walls, to plant love seed. For in the embrace of unity we find the strength to coexist, you see. You see. Guardian angels watch from above, guiding us with the wings of love. They whisper peace into our hearts and show us how to mend our parts. In God we trust, let this be our creed. To build bridges, not walls, to plant love seed. For in the embrace of unity we find the strength to coexist, you see. Together let us heal the wounds of a world torn by needless feuds. For in the light of love's embrace